This is a speech that a former American president didn't actually give.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. Fate has ordained that the men who went to the moon to explore in peace will stay on the moon to rest in peace.
So this was a fake version of President Nixon giving a speech. It was made by some academics at MIT in the United States. And they showed how you can use an emerging technology to take something that didn't exist and make it real. It's a world of deep fakes, one of the emerging technologies that is accelerating so quickly we can no longer ignore it. There was a software engineer called Grace Wyndham who recently showed how you could take a popular meme and then animate a two-dimensional image to make it a video. So these are based on an artificial intelligence that just takes a photograph or a drawing and turns it into a video. Everybody now has access to this technology. It's no longer a big academic institution, a government. These new technologies have been democratized. There is artificial intelligence now creating fake versions of speech. So that was a real voice.
The Norsemen considered the rainbow as a bridge over which the gods passed.
That was the computer using that person's original voice to synthesize her saying other things. She didn't actually say those things. So I work in the world of emerging technologies. I spend a lot of my time with the startup entrepreneurs building products with these technologies. I go to the labs and meet the people developing these technologies. And even though I try and keep up, it's moving so fast that I keep getting surprised. Only a few months ago, some people behind an organization called OpenAI released a new kind of open artificial intelligence, which allows anybody without too much knowledge to program it, to write things by itself, to produce apps by itself. Its name is GPT-3, and one of the things, for instance, it allows you to do is just type in some words and it will design a web page because it goes into the database of thousands of other online sources and it works out what you're saying. As well as designing web pages, you can ask it to design an app for you. So this is not a human designer. This is telling this open source artificial intelligence that you want it to build a really good photo app. We are in a new era. Everywhere in the world, a 16-year-old and an 80-year-old have access to these new technologies, which means however you've been doing business until now, you can't assume that that's going to be the norm tomorrow.